Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series, Marvel's 85th anniversary, Ghost Rider Danny Ketch. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging, and here we have Marvel Legends series. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. The spirit of vengeance is going to show up. Ghost Rider, Marvel celebrating 85 years. 4 and up, Hasbro print. On the top, we've got celebrating Marvel 85 years, and then where somebody cut the box open, they kind of damaged the package a little bit there when they were opening the case, but yeah, no, it's okay. Not a big deal for me. There's a barcode and a number at the bottom. Or on the side of the barcode. Whatever you want to call that. Maybe it's the assortment number. I don't know. Small print, fine print, legalese print, main China print. Symbols I'm not going to learn. And recycled print. And all that good stuff. On this side, Marvel Legends series. A bit of a window there. Showcasing the, kind of a view of the tire and some fire. Celebrating Marvel 85 years. Did I say there's a nice big window here showcasing the figure and accessories? I probably didn't, but now I did. So there we have it. Some nice artwork here of Ghost Rider celebrating 85 years Marvel. Then on the back, Marvel Legends series. Some nice, what looks to be digital renders of the figure and the vehicle. Ghost Rider. When Danny Ketch crosses paths with a cursed motorcycle, he is transformed into the spirit of vengeance, wielding supernatural powers as Ghost Rider. And then there it is again in some other languages. Here we have warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Includes figure, bike, and 9 pieces. Attention, especially don't stick it in your French pie hole. Marvel print, small fine legalese made in China print, and Hasbro print. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure, accessories, and the vehicle and assembly. So first off, I feel like let's go ahead and take a look at the figures accessories. And first up, here we have the flaming chain, and this is the same chain that we saw released with the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider with the motorcycle. I'm not sure about the single carded version, but it looks like it's molded in, I want to say it's probably molded in this translucent plastic, and then the rest of this is a paint app. And I mean, it's okay. It is what it is. It's a static chain. I may do for Danny what I did for Johnny, which is make an articulated chain for him. Now next up we have handy dandy tweezers here and an extra set of hands. And I'm not sure how much of this we've seen before. It may be a remold of something. This is a piece that's glued in, but it does appear that the shape of it is molded into the hand. And then it's glued in place. But, nice little fist, in and out hinge. And then here's the reach out and touch somebody hand. And again, nice molded detail in there and in and out hinge. It looks like it's molded in black plastic. Now let's talk about some of these flame effects. And they're all molded in this translucent plastic with no paint apps, and that's fine because it gives it that kind of ethereal fire kind of look. And this is the piece that the front tire sits in, and so I mean, this is kind of a cool piece. It feels like it's left over from the Hell Charger though. I don't know, this one is bigger, so it really feels more like that. But again, it's the same as the other piece, molded in this translucent plastic. Nice molded details throughout, and it works well with the bike. So that's pretty cool. And then here is the wheelie flame. And I like this one too. It's pretty cool. And there's a place where it pegs in, and we'll get to that in a minute. Now, before we start talking about Danny, let's talk about the assembly of the vehicle. But first, let's go over some of the details of it before we put all the pieces on, because some of it might be a little harder to see. Like the handlebars, you know, you've got some dash readouts right here on the handlebars, and you know, look really cool. And then there's a symbol of some kind here on the gas cap. At least I'm assuming that's what it is. Maybe these are the gas caps. I don't know. So this is a really kind of a futuristic take on a motorcycle, and it's not, you know, it's not bad. I like the tires on it, and the translucent, and they're a little bit soft. They're not, I wouldn't say they were rubber, but it's a very soft plastic. Looks like this piece is molded in silver, and possibly this piece in here too. And it's probably like the body of the bike is molded in this black plastic, and it's got these paint apps and then like these tampos. Well, this is probably attached, you know, it probably just attaches in, so it's different. And you know, that's probably inserted and glued, and same thing with this front piece. And you know, a lot of fine detail in here. And then, you know, some details back here. Not a whole lot going on under here because you can't really see. But, you know, I mean, it's a very nice looking futuristic take on a motorcycle, which is what, you know, what it is. Now, the footrest, foot bar, I'm not sure exactly what you call them. You can put them in one of two places. You can put it here, and you can put it here. I prefer it here because it's easier to pose the figure on, but if you find differently, you know, you can put it on there. Let's talk about this piece for a minute. And I feel like it's kind of really missing something. Like it should have been solid, and then, you know, this had an impression in it and then painted, and it feels like it would have done a lot better, looked a lot better. So I may have to do something to, you know, give it that feel. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but it definitely should not be blank like this. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking when they did that, but you can see here it's got kind of a T-shaped peg on it, and then a T-shaped groove right here. And how this assembles on there is you just line the peg in the hole up and give it a push, and there you have it. And I will say I don't like the fact that this does not have a kickstand on it, and I'm sure this would probably work better down here in a kickstand capacity, but who wants to do that? So while we've got this part out, let's take a look at the wheelie bit. And you can see there's a little hole right here and a post on here to match it, and let's get it in there, and voila. You can also use it with the back tire flame, and there you have it. So that looks pretty cool, right? And then you can take that out, and of course you don't need kickstands if you're using the flames, so maybe that's what Hasbro was thinking. And then the front tire piece, it just goes in there like that. Or the tire just kind of sits in the groove. And there you go. That's it for the motorcycle. Oh, now I didn't mention, you know, the wheels. It rolls pretty good. So there's all that for the bike and the accessories for it. Let's get those out of the way. Now let's bring Danny back out and let's take a look at him. And I think the translucent flame hair piece here is glued on to the skull this time. And you can see you've got some wash or dry brush in here, and it looks really, really cool. And inside the eye sockets there, you can see like a spiral and a paint app behind that as well, and then some black over that. So that, it looks really, really cool. I don't know if the effect is really showing up on camera as well as it looks in person, but it's really, really cool. And then, you know, you got some flame coming up here out of the collar, and so that's really cool. Got some spikes, looks like they've got some paint apps on them, and this piece is an overlay as well as the belt. This is also an overlay, and it's a soft piece, and it is removable so that when he's, you know, whipping the chain around, you can pull this off and it not look like he's got just magically has two chains. And again, just like I mentioned on the other hand with the spikes on the back of it, you know, it's you know, grooved out there, and then this is glued in. And so these are his C-grip, trigger finger, motorcycle driving hands. It looks like from the waist down, it's all molded in color, and that's fine. Got a placket for the pants. Looks like some pockets. It's got some pockets on the back. This could be reused from one of the Logans, I'm not sure. But there's a nice textural detail to the jacket, and I really like it. And, you know, it does take its cues from the comic, the design of it. And it's really, really cool looking. I always thought it was anyway. And then, like, from the top of the boots down, you know, this piece is an overlay. I think there's a groove. Yeah. It's a very slight groove where this sits. So it's a separate piece, and it does move slightly. But, you know, everything from the top of the boot down is also molded in color. And it has that same, the boots have that same kind of texture that the jacket does. And even the pants have some texture to them as well. And then, you know, he's got a strap across here in the back of the boot, and the texture goes down onto the foot as well. Nothing really on the bottom. That's fine. But overall, I think this is a pretty cool looking version of Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. So let's talk about his articulation. That's as far as he looks up. He can look down that far. He doesn't really have any chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full extras, and there's no hinge in there. It's just on a ball pivot. So there's that. Now the jaw is hinged. It will open up, and it would have been cool if they had a little flame effect glued like to the top of the mouth, so that when he opened the mouth up, you saw some flame. So that would have been cool, but alas, it was not to be. No butterfly in the shoulder. He can raise his arm up that high, which is slightly past 90 degrees. 360 degrees worth of rotation. Now you do have to swing his arm out just a little bit to get it to go all the way around because of the way the shoulder pad is shaped. Cut here at the upper bicep for full 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless knee, and it get a knee. That's not a knee, that's an elbow. So pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist on in and out hinge, and an in and out hinge on the other side as well. He does have that standard kind of Marvel Legends ab hinge. I'm trying to put my words together into one word. So he can lean back that far. He can lean forward that far. So that's not bad. I would have preferred like a ball joint in the waist, but straight cut at the waist, full 360 degrees worth of rotation. At the hips, he gives you that much of the splits. He kicks forward approximately 90 degrees. Back, we'll call that a half a step. Cut at the upper thigh for a full 360 degrees worth of rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow. No, I'm just kidding. This time I did that on purpose. But it's a pinless knee. So it gives you that much bend. And then at mid shin there is a boot cut for another 360 degrees worth of rotation. And at the ankle tilts down that far. Tilts up that far. And forward facing pin for some rocker. That, my friends, does it for a look at the figure, the accessories, and the vehicle. If he'll stand up now. Let's see. There we go. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Danny Ketch Ghost Rider next to the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. And finally, the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends series Ghost Rider Danny Ketch. With our final Marvel Legends series comparison, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series, Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, I have to say, I like this set. I don't think I like it more than the Johnny Blaze set with the bike. And this one does need some work, like the hollow pieces where the quote-unquote eyes on the face shield there on the front of the motorcycle. You know, those are supposed to be headlights. They're not just supposed to be empty spaces. So, you know, that's a bit irksome to me personally. That they didn't, you know, put some plastic on there and color it and make it right. But, you know, that's Hasbro a lot of times cutting corners where they think it doesn't really matter, and not realizing that, yes, to us fans, it does matter. It is important. Now, I'm not going to say they always, you know, just don't do right. There are times when they do really, really right, and I think the figure in this set, I think they did really, really good job on the figure. I like the fact of the piece, the fire piece where he can do the wheelie. And even though I would have preferred this bike to have a kickstand on it like the others, even though it doesn't, you can use the flame effects to make it stand up. And that all makes sense unless, you know, it's just parked. In which case those flames don't make sense. But for the most part, I like the sculpt of the bike. I like the translucent material used for the tires and the fires. And again, I like the figure. Now, I do wish they'd have done something different with the chain weapon. But I'm capable myself of making a wired chain for him to use rather than the plastic piece that comes with the figure. And, you know, I don't prefer to have to do that, but I will, and it's okay. You know, it's sometimes making your own stuff is more fun than just buying it if it's something that you're able to do. Now, as far as like, can I sculpt this figure in this motorcycle? No, I can't do that. So, you know, I'm glad at that point that they did, you know, make this figure and vehicle, because I can't manufacture that myself. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.